Hello and welcome to the news at 10 on Nta News24. We are live in Abuja. I am Nta Daniels. The headlines. Nasarawa State Government developed policy document to facilitate implementation of developmental programs. Minister of Foreign Affairs commends Nigeria's effort at securing a permanent seat in United Nations Security Council. Nigerian youths urged to shun vices and prioritize mental health and well-being. In an effort towards tackling broader challenges in key areas of health, education and skills development, Nasarawa State Government has developed a policy document that will facilitate implementation of programs aimed at improving lives of the people in the state. Vice President Kashim Shettima, who launched the two documents in Lafia, restated the commitment of the federal government to support states in driving noble ideas that will address current economic challenges. Aliyu Tijani reports.
The two documents are Nasarawa State Human Capital Development Strategy Document and the State Gender Transformative Human Capital Development Policy Framework. Vice President Kashim Shettima commends Nasarawa State Government for developing the two documents aimed at enhancing human capacity and improve the state economy. He calls for full implementation of the document by the implementing agencies in order for the people of the state to reap its maximum benefits.
As we celebrate this leap towards the future, we are reminded that the way forward must be shaped by state-specific action plans that address the unique challenges and opportunities in each region. This is the essence of progress.
The document underscored the position of Nasarawa, Akwa Ibom, and Kaduna states in the Human Capital Development Index in the country, which Governor Abdullahi Sule says mechanisms have been put in place to ensure the implementation of the document in the state.
These documents will no doubt guide us to propel Nasarawa State into a new era of development, inclusivity, and economic prosperity.
It is, in essence, a strategic blueprint for transformation, a roadmap that will guide our efforts in addressing the core challenges that have historically impeded our development and the full realization of our state's potential.
While in Lafia, the Vice President flagged off distribution of relief items that include food items, chicken feeds, sewing machines, cooking stoves, grinding machines, among others, donated to the state by the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons and the Bank of Industry. At the Palace of the Emir of Lafia, the Vice President commends the peaceful coexistence in the state, describing the prevailing peace as pivotal to the prosperity of the state. In Lafia, Aliyu Tijani, Nta News.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Tuga says Nigeria, as a giant African nation, has gone far in its efforts to secure a permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council. The minister, while addressing journalists on the economic policies put in place by the Tinubu administration, also calls for more patience by Nigerians towards achieving the country's reform target. Abdullahi Aminu reports.
Beside the Nigeria's engagement in the United Nations peacekeeping operations as well as maintaining law and order internationally, The Foreign Affairs Minister Yusuf Maitama Tuga said the country has helped a lot in stabilizing and strengthening democracy on the entire African continent. On the current pressing domestic issues in the country, the minister said the reforms policies by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu are all geared towards stabilizing the weak economy which his administration inherited for the benefit of Nigerians.
It's something that we want to continue to urge the citizens of Nigeria to please bear with this administration. This is the hard part. There is light in the horizon. There is a bright future. It's something that we have to do so that we will be able to have a brighter future. And we're beginning to feel the impact. It is slow, but you also have to remember that Nigeria is not in isolation. This hardship is taking place all over the world.
Addressing gaps in the country's petroleum industry and the establishment of the relief funds to address flood disaster formed part of the issues that the minister highlighted towards achieving a successful economic reform in the country.
So you can see the linkages and why we have ended up where we are, but President Tinubu remains steadfast, he remains resolute that this reform must take place so that we must fix Nigeria for the future, for our children, and for many generations to come.
While calling on Nigerians to exercise more patience for the benefits involved in the Tinubu administration policies and programs, the minister also said that Nigeria has stand firm on its proposal to the United Nations on the need to halt the escalation violence in the Israel-Palestine conflict. In Bauchi, Abdullahi Aminu, Nta News.
The Board of Trustees of the PDP has called on all factions of the National Working Committee to set aside their differences and embrace dialogue. Correspondent Timothy Yusuf reports that while the BOT maintained that aggrieved persons must, in the overall interest of the party, revert to the status quo to preserve the unity and stability of the party. The acting National Publicity Secretary, Ibrahim Manga, pointed out that the court has spoken and they are guided accordingly. His report.
Chairman of the PDP Board of Trustees, Senator Adolphus Wabara, understands that disagreements may arise, but as a party with a long-standing tradition of internal democracy, members must not let the prevailing challenges derail their collective vision. He said the Board of Trustees will meet with the members of the NWC to intervene, foster reconciliation, and ensure that normalcy is restored in the NWC.
And it is our collective responsibility to ensure that any issues or disputes within the party are addressed with diplomacy, sacrifice, patience, and an unwavering commitment to unity.
Meanwhile, spokesperson of Nigeria Opposition Lawmakers Coalition, Ikenga Ugochinyere, has said that the court order restraining NEC, BOT, and other entities from removing the acting chairman of the PDP, Umar Damagum, from office didn't stop the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party before they suspended the acting national chairman.
The NWC acted on behalf of the NEC to invoke the provisions of Article 57 and Article 58 by suspending the former national chairman, Umar Damagum, from office.
The courts are the last arbiter. The court is the last arbiter. It has now spoken and forbade anyone whatsoever acting on behalf of the party or otherwise in taking any decision suspending the acting chairmanship or the capacity of Ambassador Umar Damagum to continue in this capacity.
Timothy Yusuf, Nta News.
The All Progressives Congress APC has flagged off its campaign for the November 16 governorship election in Ondo State. The party's candidate and incumbent Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, while soliciting support pledged to further advance achievements in key areas such as education, healthcare and agriculture. Paul Omokego reports that the campaign commenced in the Ondo Central Senatorial District.
The governor reflected on his administration's accomplishments over the last 10 months, emphasizing key milestones. He pledged further development if re-elected in the upcoming November governorship election, highlighting the relative peace in the state, youth and women empowerment initiatives, support for farmers, and workforce development programs. The governor also underscored efforts to enhance infrastructure to attract investors and boost motivation among civil and public servants, promising to implement a 73,000 naira minimum wage if given another term.
You have seen all that this administration has been doing. We will continue to advance further.
Nta News gathered reactions from APC stalwarts who expressed optimism about the party's chances of winning.
Every election must start from somewhere, in sensitizing the people about what you are doing.
With this huge turnout, it shows that our party, APC, is going to record victory. In the last 10 months, clearly he's been able to put peace into the system. He's been able to introduce unity amongst the political party elders.
The next stop on the APC's campaign schedule is Ikare Akoko in Ondo North Senatorial District as part of the first phase of the month-long campaign. In Akure, Paulo Mukago, NTA News.
Optometrists and Dispensing Opticians Registration Board of Nigeria is prioritizing public knowledge on eliminating avoidable blindness, especially management of children's eye health and targeting a reduction in national eye disease burden. Oluseye Adeabo reports on the board's awareness campaign and free eye screening to commemorate 2024 World Sight Day in Abuja.
Poorer outcomes and eye conditions is associated with poor health literacy, and as the global theme of the 2024 World Sight Day focuses on children's vision, Optometrists and Dispensing Opticians Registration Board of Nigeria is putting children's eye health at the center of this cause with a national team run to end blindness.
And also we're encouraging parents and caregivers, don't take away the greens from the breakfast table. Give them vegetables, give them fruits, and let them also find ways to exercise their eyes by doing eye exercises. If we're able to campaign and help these children love their eyes as children, they will grow up to have better eyesight, will have minimal problems in adulthood.
So maintaining and promoting a very good sight is really very important. And when you look at the theme of this year, that run to prevent blindness, is quite very, very apt.
There are conversations around taking the campaign to the grassroots with the belief that protecting the eyes has connection with winning the fight against insecurity and aiding national productivity.
And take it as a nation that whatever you can do to preserve your eye, to make you see something, it is your own security and security of all within you.
Like we have our own constituency projects, which we draw down to the constituencies, making sure that the people in the constituencies know exactly what we are talking about, the health of the eye.
The board regulates the practice of optometry and dispensing opticinary assures of continued enlightenment on eye exercises and commitment to better eye care services in line with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope health sector-wide approach. In Abuja, Oluseye Adeabo, Nta News.
Governor Dauda Lawal has pledged that his government will take full responsibility for the well-being of families of the Zamfara guards who were killed in an ambush. In a statement by the spokesperson for the Zamfara governor, Suleiman Bala Idris, the governor said that the 9 community protection guards' ultimate sacrifice will never be in vain. Governor Lawal also announced donations of money and foodstuffs to the victims' families. Earlier, the Emir of Safi, Alhaji Mohammed Bawa, expressed gratitude to the governor for his consistent support and timely assistance in ensuring the people's safety. Let's take a break now. More reports when we return.
Grace, how sweet the sound. The family of late Dangfom Miscom John Katkwap Talen of Shandam, Plateau State, announces the sudden demise of their dear son, brother, grandson, husband, father, and friend, late Mr. Richard Adamutalen, whose sad event occurred early hours on Sunday, October 6, 2024. The late Richard Talen, who died at the age of 42 years in Abuja after a brief illness, is survived by a mother, wife, 3 children, 4 sisters, and in-laws. Burial arrangement. Tuesday, October 15, 2024. There will be a Christian wake-keep at St. Finbar's Catholic Church, Wayfield, Jos, Plateau State. Time, 4 p.m. Wednesday, October 16, 2024, sympathizers are to assemble at Air Force Military Hospital, Wayfield, Jos. Time, 7 a.m. The corpse will be conveyed from the hospital immediately thereafter to Shandam Town. Requiem Mass will take place at Sacred Heart Catholic Cathedral, Shandam, at 11 a.m. Final interment will be immediately after Mass at the family compound, GRA, Shandam, Yelwa Road. Announcer, Air Vice Marshal U.S. Abbas, retired, for the family.
Welcome back. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, Ekbo, has emphasized the federal government's commitment to enhancing gas expansion and utilization in Nigeria. Taking the message to the doorsteps of the private gas company, he urged them to align with national goals aimed at increasing domestic gas consumption and reducing gas flaring. Lydia Sampson reports.
Government's initiatives including compressed natural gas, liquefied natural gas, and liquefied petroleum gas form part of the Decade of Gas policy, targeting significant investments and infrastructure development to boost the sector. The minister highlighted the need for collaboration to ensure energy security and facilitate the transition to cleaner energy sources, positioning gas as a vital component of Nigeria's economic future.
We are there for you, and let us know what your challenges are and look for a way to address such issues. You've mentioned the capacity of power plants that are already in the country. It cannot really produce the power that we need because of lack of gas. Whereas we talk about having up to 209 trillion cubic feet of gas in the country, we shouldn't be crying about low power supply in this country if we really are committed to developing the gas sector. And the president is so much intentional and strategic about developing the gas sector to drive the economy of this nation.
He says the objective of the visit is to find out and mitigate challenges that will be an obstacle to the public-private partnership the government seeks to strengthen with the indigenous players in the gas value chains. He says, as an integral part of development, both public and private sectors must be on the same page for a sustainable energy future. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, Nta News.
A non-governmental organization, Broad Sustainable Women Economic Empowerment and Peace Initiative, is engaging stakeholders at the grassroots on the need to change the narratives about the girl child in terms of eroding their vision through equal access to qualitative and affordable education. Dr. Alabi reports on the group's awareness campaign to Jiwa community in the FCT.
There has been growing concerns over the alarming rate of dropouts among Nigerian children, specifically girls. This, among other reasons, is why Broad Sustainable Women Economic Empowerment and Peace Initiative is engaging stakeholders on the need to prioritize the education of the girl child.
This is not just a celebration, it's the call for action. Action for girls to get equal access to education opportunities, for them to be free of violence and discrimination.
To get women generally out for education, professional development, economic development in any way is not something can be achieved overnight, but at least we are moving. We are going to get there. We don't have a choice as a country.
We need a better foundation, and this foundation starts from the women. And therefore, I challenge the organization to sit up. I challenge the government to also be of support to the, to ensure that women get proper education.
22-year-old Nana Firdausi Abubakar would have been studying medicine, while Halimatu Aliyu aspires to become a lawyer, but their dreams are on hold for lack of financial support.
I actually learned a skill which is helping me, and also I use it to help both my parents. In the next 5 years, I want to see myself standing among leaders.
I have plenty challenges because I stopped my school at SS3. If I have the grace of me going back, I will go back.
My expectation is change from my community, from the girls from my community. Inshallah, I believe with this sensitization, positive outcome will be coming.
Definitely, with support and motivation, the likes of Bisweep and others may assist young girls like Nana Firdausi and Halima to realize their dreams.
With the belief that everyone has a role to play in shaping girls' vision for the future, this initiative is emphasizing the importance of girls' rights and empowerment to realize their dreams. From Jiwa community in FCT, Tokpe Alabi, Nta News.
And as part of efforts to complement government quest to tackle drug abuse and the rising cases of mental health challenges among the youths, Vanguard Against Drug Abuse, an advocacy group, organized a summit in the FCT where it disabused young minds against indulgence in vices and asked them to prioritize their mental health and well-being. Thomas Obetere was there.
They are youths, parents and children, including professionals from various backgrounds, to discuss the crucial intersection of mental health and drug abuse. The gathering focused on how victims and the vulnerable can seek professional help. The strong message is the consequences of discarding medical and professional recommendations.
Don't allow stress to take anything from you, because most of these disorders are coined from stress.
Unlike most of my colleagues out there who believe that without drugs they can't sing or rap. Of course, I'm doing all of that without involving myself in drug abuse.
The convener, Dr. Hope Umeza, and an advocate of behavioral change, Dandela Abdurrahman, urged participants to avoid drug abuse and embrace the importance of open communications, encouraging parents to always listen to their children.
So we're advocating with this program that parents and teachers should let young people express themselves, because if you don't let them express themselves, they will find a way to express themselves, but in the wrong way. So it's important that we must begin to prioritize the feelings, the emotions, and the thoughts of young people in the families and in our society.
And children, please express yourself. Parents, empathize with the children, support them. I urge our government to provide avenues where children can be able to open up. Schools create avenues where children will be able to open up. Teachers, be God-fearing. When children open up, don't take advantage of them.
The summit serves as a reminder of the collective responsibility in nurturing the mental well-being of the younger generation. In Abuja, Thomas Ogbetere, Nta News.
Our leadership is a quality that we all have and which must be harnessed at every opportunity for the good of others and the nation. These were the words of the Minister of State for Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande, as he was conferred with an award of excellence in Abuja by the Institute of Leadership, Manpower and Management Development in Abuja. At the 29th direct membership induction and investiture of the institute was the theme, The Burden of Freedom. The focus was on inculcating values of love, empathy, tolerance, and a drive to make life better for others. These, they say, are the key components of quality leadership as exemplified by President Bola Tinubu. The minister and others who have demonstrated these traits were among those honored at the ceremony.
This administration, the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, have been trying very hard to make sure that people thrive. And the decisions are being taken and initiatives, ideas are being put in together. And this president is ready to work, and he has said it times without number. I've also repeated it, that we are lucky that we have a president that listens to the people. And it shows, even in the youth assembly, in the youth concourse, in the youth arena.
I will stand by this institute. I will defend this institute.
This government is super different from other administration. Different and the best, even though people will complain, but there is hunger. I think this same decision that our president took, China also took this decision some years back, and it lasted for 12 years. Now, they have the strongest economy in the world. So, and I'm sure that's why our own president decided to emulate it. So, all we need to do is to be patient.
And that concludes the news at 10 on Nta News 24. Thank you for watching. I am Nta Daniels.